Good day everyone, I'm Janine IVC Clave, first year from the development of Filipino, and I'm here to discuss about human rights. Now, what is rights? Rights are legal, social, or ethical principles of freedom or entitlement. This is the fundamental normative rules about what is allowed of people or owed to people according to some legal system. Now, what is human rights? Our main topic is human rights. It is a natural rights for all human being whatever their nationality, religion, ethnicity, sex, language, and color. Human rights are like armor. They protect you. They are like rules because they tell you how you can behave, and they are like judge because they can appeal to them. They are abstract like emotions, and like emotions they belong to everyone and they exist no matter what happens. Human rights are also like nature because they can be violated, and like spirit because they cannot be destroyed. Human rights also time because they treat us in all the way, on all same time, rich, poor, old and young, white and black, tall and short. They offer us respect and they charge us to treat others with respect. Like goodness, truth and justice, we may sometimes disagree about their definition, but we recognize them when we see them. Now in Bill of Rights, it's also called, maybe it's also sometimes it's also called Declaration of Rights or a Charter of Rights. It is a list of most important rights to the citizens of one country. The Bill of Rights in the Philippines Constitution lays down the basic humans of Filipinos guaranteed and protected the states. We have also classes or types of human rights. First was natural rights, which is the very most important and common rights inherent to human and given to him by God as human being. Example, right to live, love, and be happy. Then that is statutory rights, rights provided by the lawmaking body of country. Example, such as the right to receive minimum wage and right to preliminary investigation. Then the last was the constitutional rights, rights guaranteed under the fundamental character of the country. For example, rights against reasonable searches and confiscations, and rights for safeguarding the accused. Now we are talking about constitutional rights. What is its classification? First was civil rights. We have civil rights. This is the rights that is specified under the Bill of Rights. Secure private individuals for the purpose of securing enjoyment of their means of happiness. Rights enjoyed by an individual by virtue of his citizenship in a state of community. Example, freedom to speech and right to inform. Next one is the social and economic. It is intended to ensure the well-being and economic security of individual rights to property, whether personal, real, or intellectual. Then the third was social and economic right. It is the right to use and dispose the property or our property, right to practice our one's professions, and right to make a living. And the last one was the political rights. Rights an individual enjoys as a consequence of being a member of body politics, right to vote, right to voted into public office, and the rights to the accused intended for the protection of person accused of any crime. The Bill of Rights in the Philippines Constitution lays down the basic human rights of Filipinos guaranteed and protected by the states. On December 10, 1984, the General Assembly of United States Nations adopted and proclaimed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Following this historic act of assembly called upon all member countries to publicize the text of declaration and to cause it to be disseminated, displayed, read, and expanded principally in schools and other educational institutions, without distinction based on the political status of countries or territories. Now, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights or UDHHR, naglalaman ito ng Article 1 to 25. But in the Article 1 to 9, it is right to equality, freedom from discrimination, right to life, liberty, personal security, freedom, and slavery, freedom from torture and degrading treatment, right to recognition as a person before the law, right to equality before the law, right to remedy by competent tribunal, freedom from arbitrary arrest. Now, in the from the Article 11 is right to be considered innocent until proven guilty. From the Article 12, freedom from the interference with privacy, family, home, and correspondence. Article 13, right to free movement in and out in the country. Article 14, right to asylum in other countries from persecution. Article 15, right to nationality and freedom to change it. Article 16, right to marriage and family. Article 17, right to own property. Article 18, freedom of belief and religion. Article 19, freedom of opinion and information. Article 20, right to peaceful assembly and association. And then Article 21, right to practice in government in free elections. Article 22, right to social security. Article 23, right to desirable work and to join trade unions. Article 24, right to rest and leisure. Article 25, right to adequate living standard. Article 26, right to education. Article 27, right to participate in culture of the community. And Article 28, right to social order. The articulate this document. And then the last one was Article 29, community duties essentials to free and full development. Nothing in these declarations may be interpreted as implying for any stage, group, or person any rights to engage in activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any rights of freedom as set forth herein. As my reflection, every single human being on this planet has rights. Human rights are basic rights of freedom that belong to every person in the world, from the birth until death. They apply regardless of where you are from, what you believe, or how you choose to live your life. They can never be taken away, although they can sometimes be restricted. For example, if a person breaks the law or in the interest of national security. These basic rights are based on the shared values like dignity, fairness, equality, respect, and independence. These values are defined and protected by the law. Without human rights, we cannot achieve our full potential. Human rights simply extend this understanding on an individual level of every human being on the planet. If I can make these claims, then so can everyone else as well. That is all. That is my report about human rights. So thank you. I hope you learn a lot, and we can understand what is the purpose of human rights.